Hello everyone, I am Professor Anish Vora and I welcome you all in this video lecture. In this video lecture, we will study about dielectric heating. We will study principle of dielectric heating as well as the application, advantage and disadvantage of the dielectric heating. Let us start with understanding of dielectric heating. We know that we have two different types of heating possible. One is induction heating and another is dielectric heating. In case of induction heating, we know that induction heating can be used only for the metallic parts. But in case of dielectric heating, we can use for non-conducting material. For example, like plastic, rubber, wood, glass, etc. Now let us study the working principle of dielectric heating based on the dielectric laws. We generate very high frequency and high voltage AC waveform with the radio frequency generator, and we have two electrodes. Both the electrodes are made of metal and we apply very high frequency voltage to the electrodes. In between electrodes we have dielectric medium, and that is the material which need to be heated, and it will act as a dielectric medium, and the whole setup will be seen as a capacitor. So we apply very high voltage with very high frequency to a capacitive setup. If we draw the equivalent circuit, we have our waveform generator, then we have capacitor. But we know that pure capacitive effect cannot be generated. So we have capacitor as well as a certain part of resistance which is connected in parallel. So we have capacitor as well as resistance, and we have total current I. And current I will be composed of two components, that is a capacitive current as well as resistive current. If we draw the phasor diagram for this setup, then we have voltage on the x-axis, resistive current IR that is in phase with the voltage, and capacitive current that is IC, and that is 90 degree leading to the voltage, and total current that is I, and that is composed of IC as well as IR, that is making leading angle, and angle is phi. One more angle current is making with the capacitive current, and that angle is known as a delta. This delta is very important for dielectric heating, and that angle is known as a dielectric loss angle. So based on dielectric loss angle, the power which we are giving to the capacitive setup, certain amount of power will be converted into loss, and that loss of the power will be used to heat non-metallic substance which is we have set up in between the electrodes. Now let us see the power equation. Power P, that is a product of V multiplied by I and multiplied by cos phi, that is our power factor. In case of current I, we know that current is composed of two components, that is IR as well as IC. But in case of resistive current IR, it is a very less than capacitive current. So it can be neglected, and we can write the equation of power, that is V multiplied by IC multiplied by cos phi. Then the equation of power P is equal to V multiplied by 2 pi FC multiplied by V and multiplied by cos phi. If we simplify, then we can write equation of power as a 2 pi fc multiplied by v square multiplied by cos 5. Now again 5 is power factor angle and it can be written as 90 minus delta, where delta we know that it is dielectric loss angle. Cos 5 we can write cos 90 minus delta, and then it can be equal to sin delta. But the value is very less, so we can directly as a delta in our power equation. So power equation becomes 2 pi fc v square multiplied by delta. The heat generated, that is directly proportional to the frequency as well as square of the voltage. In case of application of voltage, we have certain limitation, because beyond certain voltage, if we apply very high voltage, then there is a possibility of puncturing of dielectric material which we have set up between the electrodes. We can apply normally in between 10 kV to 20 kV voltage. So again, the heat generated or power, that is directly proportional to frequency, and we give very high amount of frequency, and that is in range of megahertz, 10 to 20 megahertz or more than that also we apply. So this way we can have the equation for the power. Now let us study the application of the dielectric heating. We use in plastic industry for preheating of the plastic, in wood industry, for plywood manufacturing we use dielectric heating, as well as for gluing of woods we use dielectric heating. In case of food industry, for dehydration process we use dielectric heating. In pasteurizing of milk, sometimes cooking of food without removing salt, we can use dielectric heating. In case of defrosting for the frozen food, we use dielectric heating. In case of foundry processing, for drying of molded and porcelain products, we use again dielectric heating. In case of medical, sterilization can be processed with the help of dielectric heating. Textile industry, drying of certain material. In case of electronic shoeing, we prepare raincoats or food or medical containers with the help of dielectric heating, and we can have a watertight, airtight containers. In case of rubber industry, again for the drying purpose we use dielectric heating. Now we have certain advantage of the dielectric heating, because heat is generated all across the entire material. The output is uniform heating. The entire procedure requires very less time, minimum time to complete when compared with that of the other methods. Dielectric heating is appropriate for non-conducting substance such as plastic, synthetic elements, wood, and many others. To heat certain non-conducting substance with different method, that might not be possible or might not be feasible. At the same time, we will study certain disadvantage. Heating can be done only for the substance that have a high level of dielectric losses, because the principle of dielectric heating, that is based on the dielectric loss. The equipment necessary for the entire process, like a radio frequency generator, it's very costly. The whole efficiency of the dielectric heating is too minimal, almost near to 50%. The utilization of high frequency range might produce radio interference. So these are some of the advantage as well as disadvantage of the dielectric heating. But dielectric heating is very useful in lots of applications and it is very simple to understand. Thank you for watching my video. Keep watching. Thank you very much.